Hey, it's me, Sung-won. So if you guys didn't know, I was actually given the opportunity to be the lead role in a miniseries on RocketJump's channel. RocketJump and Crunchyroll did a web series called Anime Crimes Division. It's 3 episodes. You can watch them all on RocketJump's YouTube channel, and the link is in the description below. It's basically a detective CSI drama mixed with anime. It takes place in Neo Otaku City, and all the crimes are basically anime-related crimes. It's pretty damn special, so check that out. A lot of people have been asking about, like, what was it like working on a Rocket Jump production? You know, doing this scene, that scene. You know, I've gotten a lot of questions about it. So I was like, fuck it, I'll make some videos talking about my kind of first big live-action, basically film experience, and how everything was done behind the scenes and my experience. Yeah, so probably do 3 of these, 1 for each episode. If you haven't seen the episodes already, you should probably watch them first before watching these, otherwise you won't know what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna go through the episode and give my thoughts on scenes and anything that I remember, so let's do it.
In Neo Otaku City, there are 2 kinds of people.
This opening sequence, I did the voice. The voiceover for this was the last thing that I actually did in the entire shoot. After everything was filmed, we went over to the Rocket Jump and went to a big sound padded room, and I recorded the script for that, and like maybe 2 or 3 times, and then that was the final thing. So, funnily enough, the final thing I did for the entire thing was the beginnings intro voiceover. This opening title sequence, when I finally got to see the finished product, I fucking burst out laughing because it is just so much better than I could have ever imagined. The song is amazing. Basically, with this, we were in a big, not a green screen, but like a big open white area, basically. It felt really kind of surreal walking in it because you just felt like you were in a void. Myself and Riley and Kirk, the other actors, basically just got to do some cool looking poses, do some dramatic walking past each other. Because before this, I was saying to Freddie, you gotta make sure this opening is fucking dynamite, like balls out anime, because that's one of my favorite parts of anime, is the amazing openings, and they did not disappoint. Alright, let's talk about the shipping yard. So the shipping yard was literally the first thing I shot. So it's like 6 or 7 in the morning. We go to a shipping yard in Long Beach. I'm like, you know, kind of internally going, oh, I hope I don't fuck this up. And then the first thing I have to do is run around a shipping yard over and over again. It was exhausting.
God damn it, Senzaki! Stop!
The stuff I'm shouting here, like, God damn it, Senzaki! We actually recorded that after all the running stuff. Basically, Senzaki, who is also the sound guy, had me go into just like, actually it's this sort of alleyway of shipping boxes right here, and just had me shout random things in reaction to like trying to chase him, like, God damn it, Senzaki, and come back here, stop running. So that was fun to do. Just shouting random things like a lunatic in a shipping yard. So after all that running, I had to do this monologue. And there were a couple big monologues in the show. And this one where I'm describing the gun is not an easy monologue to remember because there's a lot of just nitty-gritty terms that I don't really understand what I'm saying.
Precision molded ABS casing, modified to shoot 6mm BBs from Tokyo Marui M9 mags.
But the hardest part, actually, was the Dominator itself. That gun, I'm not saying it's super heavy, but that front part is pretty top-heavy. And yeah, when you pick it up for like a couple seconds, it's not heavy at all. But when you have to hold it like this, and you can't waver, and you have to just hold it up straight and deliver a monologue, that's like one of the hardest monologues in the script. Wow, that was exhausting. Because, you know, you gotta do multiple takes, so, and you can't let the gun go down or else it looks like he's just given up or something. So, yeah, holding that gun up and trying to deliver that monologue was definitely a pretty intense experience for my first day of shooting. The Pocky stuff, Pocky's pretty finicky. If you're trying to get it out of a box, well, first of all, I think the Pocky had like melted because of the heat, so they were kind of stuck together, so it was hard to get a piece out. Pieces would just break off and just ruin the take. Like, I'm trying to pull the fucking Pocky out and it just snaps in half. But I think in the end, the joke was great, though. The idea of using Pocky as cigarettes. And I got to eat a lot of Pocky, so win-win. This was my first scene with Kirk, who plays the chief, and he looks dapper as hell. He looks just, man, he looks like a goddamn police chief. I was a little intimidated, honestly, because I didn't get to really talk to him before shooting this scene, so I was like, damn, who's this straight up fucking police chief here? But he's a super nice guy. We got to talk throughout the shoot. Yeah, Kirk's great. Now, all the stuff in Tetsuo Kaneda Park was actually filmed on day 4, and it was fucking hot that day. All the actors were just kind of like dreading, like, oh my god, having to do all these long outside scenes in that heat. Also, that statue was not there, so we basically were just looking up at nothing, and I was very excited to see what the final thing would actually look like, because it was supposed to be something from Akira, and it's pretty spectacular. Riley as Diesel nails this scene. I love the choking on the boba. Actually, if you look at the boba, it's actually a Yubaba from Spirited Away, Yubaba Boba brand boba. I think it shows up in episode 2 in the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, but I thought that was a really funny prop idea. So the Summer HQ scene was filmed on the first day. That was basically after the shipping yard stuff. I think we went over to that building and did the Summer HQ scene, and then I wasn't in the opening scene of episode 2. That's like one of the only scenes I wasn't in. But the auction scene in episode 2 and the Subber HQ room are in the same building. They're literally right across from each other. This scene was interesting to act in because I didn't know what she was saying. Yes, I had read the script and had an idea of what she was going to say, but because it was in Japanese, sometimes I'd like not be sure when her line had ended and be like, oh, okay, I have to react now. So that was an interesting sort of process. Knowing what she was supposed to be saying, but not being sure exactly when she had finished saying it. I think I might have interrupted her once or twice on accident because I thought the line was done because I can't speak Japanese. This was also the first scene that I had with Riley, and she fucking nailed it. I think we both nailed that scene. Yeah. Especially that really quick whispered exchange about the last Airbender stuff.
My teachings from Digimon have taught me how to spot a liar, and I don't think she's lying.
If I want to know about Last Airbender trivia, I'll ask. For now, this is my investigation, and you'll keep quiet.
I'm getting sick and tired of being
As I felt that sort of exchange happen, I was like, okay, this is gonna be fun. She's really good, and I think the sort of back and forth energy is going to be a lot of fun. So this scene where we go out and see the graffiti on the wall, first of all, there was no graffiti there. And this was the last day of shooting, actually. I think this was the first thing we shot on the last day. Got to do a little bit more action here with the gun shooting and getting tackled by Diesel. There was a crash mat behind or on the floor there, but that was a lot of fun to do.
You'll pay for what you've done to our statue. I will use the power of the light to make you die.
So the scenes with the dubbers, especially the lead 2 dubber gang members, they're not saying, well, I know they did takes where they said their dialogue, but they also did a lot of takes where they just said random numbers. And I didn't break that often during this shoot, but during that scene, or this scene, I definitely fucking broke, because just them going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hearing it for the first time completely caught me off guard, and I fucking lost it. And the dubber and both the dubber and subber actors were really funny. Getting to punch Brian Forrest or Bob Dugnut here was fun. He actually gave me some tips on how to do a punch more convincingly, because I'm not a professional at punching, and he's had some experience doing that sort of thing. So it was funny getting some advice from the guy I'm supposed to be punching on how to punch him correctly. And finally, the Naruto run, which I was so happy that they did. We did, I think, 2 versions, one with just the Naruto run and one where they whip pan to the sun. And I remember saying to Freddy earlier in the shoot, like, at some point, maybe in the opening or something, you gotta have something where it, like, whips up to the sky or the sun. And I'm glad that it was in the episode at some point, because that's such an iconic-ass anime shot. This ending sequence here was also... This was the last thing I shot on camera. Right after all the apartment stuff, we went over to that corner, and Freddy would just shout out like, "All right, drop the gun or drop the piece. Now take out your phone and look at it, and hit your head on the desk." So I'd just be doing these things for the ending sequence, and I love the song too. They did such a good job with the music here. And that's my experience on episode 1. I'll be doing 2 more of these, episode 2 and episode 3. So yeah, if you thought this was interesting, even in the slightest, let me know. But I'll be doing 2 more, so peace.